Every Mario and Luigi game has bros attacks, or a form of special attack. They are the most prominent source of damage in the Mario and Luigi games, and that's why I'll be ranking them from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Disclaimer, this is my opinion. This is not everybody's opinion, so don't get mad at my opinion. The green shell is the first bros attack you get in the game, and it's really basic. You don't really need to use it after you get the fire flower. Its timing isn't as bad as other games though. The Goomba Storm is the first minions attack you get in the game, and it's repetitive because you have to use it's kind of like the fire flower where you just use it for one boss, and one boss only really, and it gets repetitive when you use it a lot, and you don't have any other minion attack at this point, and the stylus controls suck. They don't really work, especially when you're trying to do the challenge where you're trying to get the S rank on the minions attack ones. Just doesn't work there. The jump helmet is the third bros attack that you get in the game, and it's worse than the fire flower because it's more repetitive because you fight Cretin. If you want to see my thoughts on Cretin, go watch my boss ranking. And it's hard to time because there's no shadow in the DS version, and there's barely a shadow in the 3DS remake. And just because of that, it's hard to time, and it's not really consistent unless if you're good at the game. The fire flower is the second bros attack in the game, and it's consistent because all that you have to do is hit the A or B button somewhat fast, and it can cause the burn effect, and it also does critical damage to some wood enemies. But all this may make you think, well, why isn't this higher? Because there's some downsides, like you spam it a lot in the Scuttlet and Wizard boss fights, which are good boss fights, but you spam them. You spam the fire flower. The Koopa Corpse is the special attack you unlock when you're looking for the first star cure. And you don't really use it because you have a giant battle, and after that, you get the Bob-omb Blitz. So there's really no point of using this. But it is useful if you want consistent damage, and we'll talk about the Bob-omb Blitz in a little bit. But this gives less damage. The Mighty Meteor is useless. You get this right when you go to Peach's Castle. And in Peach's Castle, you can get the Falling Star, which is just way better than the Mighty Meteor because it does more consistent damage because it's way easier to hit than this. But the reason why this is above the Fire Flower is because it does more damage, and it also is because that's also why it's above the Koopa Corpse as well. This is the most inconsistent attack in a Mario and Luigi game. It is so hard to hit an excellent in this because it's so hard to proportionate. It's really only good against a bunch of enemies where you could attack them all at once. But there is no boss fights like that Bowser fights off against. So this really serves no purpose in this. You get the Super Bouncer right after you get the Woohoo Cannon. But the Woohoo Cannon is better than the Super Bouncer because it just does way more damage to bosses. This really has no purpose besides the low BP cost, and that's really it. The Shy Guy Squad is the second minions attack that you get in the game, and it does its purpose very well. It's a simple attack that you can hit consistently, and it's really easy to hit an excellent on, and it does a lot of damage. It's just the perfect combo. There's really no bad things about this. It's just a very mid attack. The spin pipe is useful for getting the glasses off of Dark Fawful, the final boss, Bug Fawful, or whatever it's called. It's good to break his glasses, but that's just really it. There's not really a boss fight where you can't use another bros attack that's just better. There's the Falling Star, and then there's, of course, the Woohoo Cannon. That's just better than it. The Snack Basket is a required bros attack to get the 3rd star cure, and it's really only used against, well, really good against the shrubs to destroy them all instantly, and the final boss to destroy its legs so you can attack the Dark Star. And that's really it. It doesn't really do that much damage. It can also be used on Blizzard Midbiss's little minions, which is another good one to use it against. But that's it. The Yoo-Hoo Cannon is basically the Shy Guy squad but for Mario and Luigi. It's consistent damage, and it does a lot of damage even though you're late into the game. This does get replaced by either the Magic Window or the Falling Star in Peach's Castle. You unlock the Magic Koopa mob in Peach's Castle, which is the last area of the game. That means that you can get the Baragi Barrage, I think it's called, which is just better than this. But if you don't want to trek through the castle again, going outside the castle, then this is probably better to do. But since Magic Window is what you get after defeating the shrubs, and it can go infinitely if you're playing on the DS version. But if you're not, then if you're not playing on the DS version or you're playing on the 3DS remake, then this is honestly pretty useless because it's so much BP for something that really isn't that useful, especially once you have the Falling Star. But you can get this from right when you get out of Bowser to right before the final battle. Broggy Bonker is a really good source of damage in boss battles, but because there's not many boss battles that you can use it in compared to the Falling Star, and just because the Falling Star can do Death Down, and this needs horns to really be a good weapon because of all the blitties that come in when you get an excellent, and that's another reason, if you don't get an excellent, it's not good. The Falling Star is the best special attack in the game, and it's really simple because it does a bunch of damage and it has a chance, but it's very likely, to give you defense down on the attack, and it just does a lot of damage and can kill bosses really easily. You made it to the end of the video. Why not like and subscribe? And comment down below if my opinion was right or not. And maybe in the comments you can put your opinion down. Anyways, that's it for the video. Goodbye.